Hey there, everybody. I want to talk about how we can separate a solid from a liquid. So in this case, I have water, and in the bottom of the water, I have a gray solid. And so often in lab, we want to get the solid away from the liquid. And there's a couple of different ways to go about it. You could try to pour the liquid off, but in this case, a lot of it's floating and kind of suspended in it. So that's not going to work too well. That process is called decanting. But when you don't have a good separation between the liquid and the solid, that's going to be super awkward. And so a second option is to do what's called a filtration, or to filter the solid away from the liquid. You can think of it as just like what you would do to separate your cooked noodles from the water you cook them in if you're making pasta. So to do this, we need to have something that's going to catch the solid. And so we're going to use a piece of filter paper and a funnel. And so we've got plastic funnels, and we also have glass funnels that you're going to be using, and it doesn't matter which of those you use. But you'll notice that the filter paper is not quite the right size and shape for the funnel to start with. So you need to fold the filter paper. You're going to take the filter paper and fold it in half to make a half moon, because the filter paper itself is circular. So you fold it to make a half moon, and then you fold it again to make a little pie shape. Now, when you do this, if you look at it on the end, you'll see that you've got some little layers of the paper. Take the top or the bottom, but take the top one and peel it away. And you'll see that you've got a little cone right here. So you open that little pocket, and that fits perfectly inside the funnel to make something that's just the right size and shape for carrying out your filtration, because it fits right in there. And so this is where we're going to be able to pour our liquid and the solid suspended in it through here. The solid will get stuck in the filter paper, and the liquid's going to drip on through. If your filter paper tries to jump out of the funnel, you can grab a little bit of water and just wet it down, and that helps it stick so it doesn't try to escape out of the funnel. Now, logistically, you could sit here and hold the funnel the whole time you're filtering, but that's terrible. So one option is to use an Erlenmeyer flask, because it supports the funnel very nicely, and you can pour your liquid through there and it'll drip on through. Option two is to take a beaker and take one of these clay triangles and set the filter in the clay triangle, because it supports it perfectly. And then you can pour your liquid and solid through that. Option three is to use a ring stand. Let's move these out of the way here. You can take a ring stand, lower the ring so it's above whatever receiving container you have, and again, using the clay triangle, you can support the clay triangle on that ring to allow the liquid to fall through. Now, as you're pouring through, a couple of thoughts. You don't want to overfill the filter paper. You want all the solid to be on the inside of the filter paper, not on the outside or going over the top and edge. So you're going to have to be a little patient while stuff drips through. And then as you're pouring, you got to make sure you get all the solid out of your beaker and into the filter paper. So you can swirl to help you get the solid to transfer over. And oftentimes, as you'll see here, you end up with solid stuck to the beaker. Assuming you're using water, and the water's not going to, assuming you're using water, you can squirt a little extra water from a wash bottle and kind of use that to rinse the beaker out and push the water, for the liquid and the solid, from the beaker or whatever container it was in, into your funnel with the filter paper. And then you'll notice that what drips down is just the water, and all the solid is going to be left in the filter paper itself. So that's the process for doing a gravity filtration to separate a solid from a liquid.